Hi there, welcome to today's video, and today I've got a question here from Christy. Christy just watched the movie Fed Up and immediately went through the cupboards in her kitchen to see how much sugar various foods have. And holy moly, her running fuel was some of the worst offenders. I assume because sugar equals energy, right? If you're concerned about sugar intake, what do you use for fuel? Nuts? Well, Kirsty first and foremost, and this applies to the runners that are trying to maintain a level of ketosis in their bodies, is the number one go-to fuel source that every cell in the human body relies on to be able to operate from your brain to your toes and everything in between is glycogen. Without glycogen, without blood glucose, your body cannot function, your brain cannot function. That's why the vast majority of, or should I say all of the people that I've come across that are operating in a state of ketosis, they've got this type of brain fog about them. Their brains are completely foggy. They're not able to concentrate on anything properly because their brains are so foggy. And as a result, they tend to consume way more caffeine just to try and stimulate some sort of brain function so they're not walking around like zombies. As a friend of mine a couple of years ago, he's a bodybuilder. And during these starvation trimmed down to be as lean and as cut as possible for a bodybuilding competition, he'd be limiting himself to 3 teaspoons of brown rice per day as far as the maximum carb intake, and then cutting his daily calorie intake down to about 400-500 calories as well. So he was undercaloried, he was undercarbed, and his brain was just simply shutting down. In the area that he'd be working, he'd be at his workstation and needing to go through to the administrative office to pick up a piece of paper. He'd walk from his workstation, and in the 20 seconds that it would take him to walk from his workstation to the admin office, over the course of that 20 seconds, he'd completely forget why he was there, and he'd arrive at the administrative area, look around with a dazed expression in his face, and just turn around and walk back to his workstation. And then only maybe an hour or two later at his workstation, suddenly remember what it was that he was needing from the administrative office again, walk back there, and again, with the physical activity of walking to the administrative office, he'd for a second time forget why he was there and just stand around with a dazed expression on his face. And he could explain in no uncertain terms that being undercaloried, being undercarbed, has an effect on brain function. It has an effect on muscle function. So, first and foremost, yes, your race fuels may have a high sugar content because that's the fast absorption type of energy source that your brain needs. When the muscle glycogen levels are getting depleted, it needs to retop those muscle glycogen levels as quickly as possible. Me personally, if I'm doing a long run, even my long solo unsupported ultras that I do out here in the mountains, my go-to fuel source will be small jacket baked potatoes. It will be bananas. It will be dates. As opposed to the gels and such like, which have got no fiber and a much lower water content within them. Taking whole foods with me, your sugars, the fructose or the glucose that will be within those foodstuffs are trapped within the fiber and water combination of that foodstuff, which means that it's a slower release type of fuel. But if you're taking a slower release type of fuel, you need to be remembering to start refueling earlier into the run. Not wait for the first hour and a half to 2 hours to go by until you hit the wall, until you bonk, and you've completely run out of blood glycogen levels, and then start ingesting the food, because then if you only start ingesting whole food at that stage, it's going to take half an hour or so for it to work through your system properly. So what I'd say is maybe say 45-50 minutes into your long run, then you can start refueling with whole food, and that way you'll be able to maintain a blood glycogen level at a healthy type of level throughout your full event or throughout your full long run. That's my take on the matter. Share your comments, questions, criticisms down below. Don't forget to give this a thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down if not. That way I know what to be giving you guys in the future. And also down below is a huge red subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button, that way you stay subscribed to my channel for all of the new content that comes out on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis. Stay garbed up for the win out there. I'll see you next time.